course. Now, let's have a look at some other news making headlines today. And of course, we want to now focus on an interview by Spice FM and Garissa Township. Member of Parliament Aden Duale spoke with Spice FM on the strategy that Kenya Kwanza is trying or seeking or looking at employing to win the majority of the seats, especially the presidency come August. Let's have a listen.
The people have elected. I mean, there's a government, there's a budget, there's taxpayers' resources. So I think before even Azimio comes in, before Kenya Kwanza comes in, the government has a moral and ethical duty to feed its people, like many other governments. But of course, Kenya Kwanza, in our own ways, we support our individual members of parliament who come from the most affected areas. That's a drop in the ocean. I mean, 2-3 trucks. But I think government has a moral duty, and this government, if you ask me, has no interest for the people of Kenya. Not only this drought, in all the subsequent drought. It's very, very sad. I mean, buying of livestock. In fact, if you ask me, livestock offtake, all these programs have been used for corruption purposes. You see, they release money just maybe 2 weeks to the advent of rains. So it's about the timely. When do you buy feed? When do you feed people? When do you do the offtake program? Government should have built the feedlots and all this. But I agree with you morally. The political class, the two main competitors, should have said, we are stopping our campaign for 2 days, or this is what our 2 days campaign will cost, and they flag off trucks of food at Uhuru Park or Nyayo Stadium. But let me come back to that very important question you ask about the commitment.
Yes.
How do we held accountable Kenya Kwanza? By the way, by our name itself, it's Kenya Kwanza, so ours is Kenya. I mean, it's not about us. But you know, the Constitution has defined political parties and the functions of political parties. The Political Parties Act has also defined one of the grounds that a president or a government can be impeached, even a minister, if he doesn't implement what he promised in his budgetary allocations. Thirdly, and more importantly, I mean, there are many people, including the media, who will hold governments and leaders to account. And if either through the judicial system, through the legislature, which are independent, a petition can be brought to parliament. And I told you, petitions and impeachments in parliament become more solid constitutionally if you have something solid, like a signature. Like Honorable Duale has signed this, and it's not fake. So I don't think the deputy president signing charters, which has never happened in the history of Kenya, I don't think he's doing it just for PR.
Can you take it to court?
And of course.
And what would you be seeking in court?
The court can compel. Courts can compel. You know, the problem we have is our courts are very independent. They are very powerful.
That's the problem.
The problem is the problem is if you have a leader and a government that does not respect the rule of law, like this current government. But we don't expect those of us, you know, and William Ruto is not alone. We are leaders around him. So if he's going to be a leader that is going to respect the rule of law, if I go to court and take the petition with the signature on extrajudicial killing, a court can compel not only the president, the state agencies which are compliant, and they have done it even before. That you have seen the case of the cleric from Moyale, who, when he was released because there was no evidence in committee, he said, "I'm not leaving, because if I leave the door of the committee, I'll be killed." So those kind of things, a commitment. You know, ask me, and let me ask you a general question: are you better off when a leader just speaks on a microphone and leaves you a county than when you have a document that he has signed that tomorrow or if him or his agents come back to you, you can say, no, wait a minute. You told us this. And you never did it. So we have no business with you.
You know, the indemnification that you speak of makes sense. You have parliament. It's a legal document. It can be taken to court. But if I look at institutions that deal with such matters, promises, and how it is they indemnify themselves and what is they say. For instance, the insurance industry. You take a car insurance. They tell you, in the event that this happens, whether it's third party, whether it's comprehensive, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. At the end of the day, the promise is that they will pay you in the event of an accident. That's why when I asked you earlier on, in the event, because it is human, in the event that something doesn't happen.
No, but you know, with a lot of respect to you, don't use the insurance analogy.
Why?
No. You know, the insurance analogy is different. I mean, I can drive for 3 years and I have not had an accident, and they will still scoop my money. This is about there is the existence of a problem, and it needs a solution. So this person is committing that this problem exists, and he must resolve it. How does he resolve it? I'm going to do it not just by rhetoric, by utterances, but by committing himself. And as you earlier said, it's companies, in fact, the political parties act is more pronounced both in law and in the constitution. And let me give you an example. I am a member of parliament.
Yes.
Most of these commitments are budgetary related. Agreed? You can push it through parliament and make sure the budgets are allocated. And if that budget, because the budget is a public participation process,
yes.
If even the president or the minister rejects that budget on the basis of that item, which they have promised, then you can go to court and that budget can be annulled. That section can be annulled, even if the House agrees with it. So here, I can tell you, for the first time, we have leaders in public, for the first time in the history of Kenya, who can say, held me to account. I am ready to append my signature. So let's wait, give us the first 100 days. If you don't deliver, I'll be back here. Ask our competitors. Ask our competitors. But let me tell you, Article 35 of the Constitution, allow me, allows even any citizen, even Mamamboga, to go and ask for the Azimio coalition document.
Yes.
Up to today, why is it that it is with the registrar? And the registrar, you know, has become a victim of the state machinery. The registrar should make it public. But the problem is she doesn't have the document. The document is in State House. The document is with President Kenyatta. President Kenyatta wants to use it for, he wants to amend it every morning. You know, his document is working in progress. So it had a deadline of 25th, I think, it was a deadline of 9th of
March.
9th of, I think, April.
April.
You guys have shown our document is in public. Where is Azimio? And where is Azimio? Where is the signatures?
Okay.
So I think if you had to score us, I think
you've never owned that document that's been leaking in public. You know that?
What do you mean?
The one that has been circulating, it was not officially circulated by Kenya Kwanza.
Kenya Kwanza, our document was given to the media. I asked when I saw it. It was copy what I had. And
so 70% ANC for Kenya is part of it.
Yes.
If they don't deliver 70%, nothing for them.
No. We will negotiate.
So there's an opportunity to negotiate.
Yes, it is a clause there.
Okay. As you concluded, Mheshimiwa, we now can see the vote distribution, right? Across the country.
Yes.
The counties that have high votes, the counties that don't have high votes, the counties that are perceived to be UDA and Kenya Kwanza strongholds, and those that are not. From where you sit, where are your numbers coming from?
Our numbers are coming from our first traditional stronghold of 2017.
Which is?
5.7 million Mount Kenya Central and the diaspora, coming from the Rift Valley, coming from majority of the pastoralist areas in terms of the presidential votes. In terms of the other seats, there might be clan dynamics. Even us as UDA, we're only targeting 11 parliamentary seats out of the 18 parliamentary seats.
In pastoralist counties?
In the 3 northeastern counties. Of the 18, we are zeroing on 11, where we have the front runners. Then go to, our numbers have gone up. We have now gone and eaten into our opponent stronghold. Western, Coast. If we just do, we're doing now 50% in some parts of Western. In Bungoma and Trans Nzoia, we're doing over 60%. Those are our opponent stronghold. Coast, even if we do 50%, we're home and dry. If you calculate the numbers as of the final register, anybody will tell you we are going to beat our competitors by a margin of 2 million. There will be they will not go to Uhuru Park, they will not go to the Supreme Court.
A margin of 2 million votes gives you how many votes?
About 11, 12 million. Yeah.
So about 12 million votes to Kenya Kwanza.
Kenya Kwanza about, let's say if the turnout will be 80%.
And that's about 51%.
About 51%
Yes.
of the voting population.
Yes, about 50. And we are targeting the youth. The youth about 8 million. They have gone down by about 5%, I don't know why, from 2017. Now they're about 8 million of the 22 million.
But do you still have the same stronghold that you had a couple of months ago, let's say 4-5 months ago in Mount Kenya?
Oh, Mount Kenya is locked, my friend. Don't listen to the opinion polls that are done by our competitor strategist. I'll give you an example of Angela. Angela was not here, my friend. She's a part of the strategist of our competitor.
But
Ipsos. Don't look at the opinion polls of the deep state. You should get the opinion polls of the intelligence, which we have access to.
So what does the intelligence opinion poll say?
No, I don't want to share like Karanja Kibicho.
Who told us that you're losing?
I am not a custodian, so I'm not a recipient. So I will not tell you. But
the recipient has told us that you are losing.
No. You know, a recipient who's telling you? Karanja Kibicho is not a recipient of intelligence.
He's a consumer of the intelligence information that comes directly to him.
He's not.
Oh, okay.
The people who are the recipient and
Consumers.
And consumers are very limited. Are members of the National Security Council, which the Deputy President is one of them.
And the National Security Advisory Committee.
No. I think the Director General. I don't want to go into it, but Director General. According to, if you look at the Act of National Intelligence Service, it will tell you who are the recipient, and they are not made public. They are not made public in radio shows. So I am aware. So, and that is why he had to say it, because he was in denial. But I can tell you from the 22 point. It has never happened in the world. It has never happened in the world. And that's how low our country has gone, where a PS in charge of interior can publicly state intelligence reports. And that is why I am sure